Hey everyone, welcome back to Stones Hill Homestead. I'm Kim and I am here to share with you what we've accomplished in August for Every Bit Counts challenge that Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead has collaborated. She's done this for several years and I joined in a couple years ago, and this year, as many of you know if you've watched my previous videos, I did break my back in January of 2022. And so yesterday was slim for us as far as canning and harvesting. I did quite a bit based on my injury, but this year I am back full force, and I just wanted to share with you what we've accomplished for August of 2023. So here is our harvest, but not all of it is here. So I'm going to go over what we actually did for the Every Bit Counts challenge. And what this challenge is for is, in August, you preserve something every day, whether it be canning, freezing, dehydrating, freeze drying, whatever you need to do to preserve for the coming winter. Not all of it is here, as I've said. So I'm just going to go through the list here and tell you what we've done and share with you what I've got in the freezer that has yet to be processed. But even though it's in the freezer, I still count it because I did freeze it for us to use this winter. So to begin with, last weekend was the end of the Every Bit Counts challenge for us. And the reason why I counted last weekend was because we had 4 bushel of apples that we had to preserve, and that took several days. And I wanted to include that so you could see that even though the process started in August, we did get it finished. However, today I'm doing some other things with the scraps from those apples yet. So between my daughter-in-law Angie, myself, and my friend Keri, we produced 28 quarts of apple juice, and I have that in the back row over there. I only got 4 on my pantry shelf. I don't need as much, so I didn't take as much juice as what they did, or my daughter-in-law did, out of our 2 bushels of apples, because we had 2 bushel, Keri had 2 bushel. But I am going to include that all so you can hear what we each got. So Angie and I got 15 quarts of apple juice. Keri got 13 out of her 2 bushel. I got 23 pints of applesauce, which are right here, and Keri got 27 pints. And the reason she got more applesauce versus juice was because I used some of my applesauce to produce this 11 pints of apple butter. So I used some of the applesauce to produce that because we don't eat a lot of applesauce, and my daughter-in-law they don't eat any. They're not fond of it, so I took all the scraps and made applesauce for myself and left her with most of the juice. That ended us with 4 gallons of apple scraps to make the apple scrap jelly, which I am doing today, which you will see in a video shortly. And I'm also making apple cider vinegar, which is also included in that video. That takes many months, so you will only see me making the apple cider vinegar to prepare it for the shelf for it to ferment. That has to ferment. You will see that portion on the video, but you won't see the end result until several months later. We had 14 quarts of 3-bean salad. That is over here. And we also had these 5 pints of 3-bean salad. We really enjoy that. And remember, most of this is coming from the garden. The only thing that didn't come from the garden you will see is I had onions that didn't do great, so I did have to purchase some onions for the 3-bean salad, and that was just fine. I also preserved 12 pints of zucchini pineapple. It is not on this table. I ran out of room. It is over, it's still in a box. Yes, it's still in a box over here on the floor. 9 quarts of bone broth, which I used. I had carcasses in the freezer, and I just cooked them down and made bone broth with those. I save those chicken carcasses as well as turkey carcasses. I save that, and then I cook them all down at once when I have enough. I did 4 pints of carrots. They are already on the shelf, I believe. Yes, they're already over on the shelf. And then, of that 9 quarts of bone broth, I also had 1 pint of bone broth because I ran out. I didn't have enough for another quart. 7 quarts of wax beans. I had 2 quarts of split pea soup, as well as 11 pints of split pea soup. 2 quarts of ham and bean soup with 12 pints of ham and bean soup. 5 quarts of black beans, which are right there. I had 4 quarts of cranberry juice, 6 pints of blueberries, 6 half pints of banana rings, as well as 8 half pints of spicy banana rings. And I know people are probably thinking, what in the world? It's just me and my husband. Well, if we have pizza once a month, one of these pint jars will be for 1 pizza. So between these pints, I have 12 pizzas planned for the year. Now the additional, if I have company and we make 2 pizzas, I will then have enough if they want banana peppers. Otherwise, we use it for Mississippi pot roast. We use it for sandwiches. We just use banana peppers a lot. And I have a lot of peppers yet out in the garden, which I haven't even touched yet. I'll be making more videos for that. So if you'd like to see those videos, subscribe if you would like, and give me a thumbs up, and I will make sure that you know when those videos are happening with that subscription. You get to get notified of my videos. I had 6 pint of rutabaga, which is right here. This is first year for that. I've never done rutabaga as well as wax beans. I've never done. These are new to us, but we loved them, so we decided to preserve them this year. Then I had 9 pints of tomato soup, which is right here. I will be making more tomato soup. We do love tomato soup, and I will probably do this more from here on out, since we did really enjoy it. I don't have to buy store-bought soup with that. It's a great recipe, and again, that's on that video. All these are on video that I have canned. There's a few things that I did process and can that I didn't make a video because it would have been a repetitive video, but it's in my link of videos. The other things I produced were 3 quarts of freezer corn. I put them in the freezer. Those ears of corn were given to us by a friend, so I did put them in the freezer. I also diced a bunch of green pepper from our garden. That's also in the freezer. We did tomato sauce. That was the very first video of the month, I believe, and I was teaching my daughter-in-law how to do tomato sauce. And I don't have a count on how many she preserved, but we did do that. It is in a video, and those tomatoes did come from our garden in August, so I believe it was probably 10 to 15 pints of tomato sauce. She loved it so much, she did go home the following week and make another batch on her own. This does not include the garlic. We had garlic that we harvested from the garden. It is now upstairs. It is ready. It has been, I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean. It's been dried out. It's been processed. It is ready for use this winter. Plus, I will be taking some of those bulbs and I will be replanting them in October for next year's harvest. I also have so far 14 gallon bags of tomatoes from our garden. They're frozen whole. I've cleaned them and froze them whole so that I can process all at once. By doing this, I will be able to do all my tomatoes in one day, whether it be salsa, tomato soup, tomato juice, V8 juice, Bloody Mary mix. I do a lot of tomato products, and I like to do it all at once, and rather than doing small batches, I just freeze the tomatoes in the bags, and then I pull out what I need for each recipe as I have time to do it, so then I can keep it in small batches. So that's what we did in August for Every Bit Counts challenge. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining. Check out all those other videos and channels that did this same challenge with Jessica. We are so blessed to have someone like her to collaborate these challenges. There is another challenge going on with Lynn from Bucket List Homestead. Again, check out her channel. Her September challenge is Stock It September, which is where you take a certain amount of money and you buy things to stock up your shelf for the winter. And I believe she said $10. So each week you would purchase items not totaling more than $10. But if you use more, please let her know. But she would like each and every one of you to join in and do that challenge as well. This challenge also will lead up to Jessica's February challenge, which is the food pantry or pantry challenge. We do that in January and February. We do not go to the grocery store. We don't buy groceries. You set your own rules. If you need to go to the grocery store to get either dairy products or fresh produce, then those rules you set up. There's no rules. You make your own rules. We include, not only do we not go to the grocery store in January and February, we also only limit ourselves to once a month to go out to eat with friends. My husband likes to do that. I do too. We like to go out to eat, but what it also does is it helps us save money for other purchases. Last year and the year before, when I had my broken back, we discovered that we had no income for my husband or myself. He's self-employed. I was out of work. So we had no income. We decided to do the pantry challenge, one, to help us because we didn't have the money for groceries. We didn't have that extra cash. We had to pay bills. And so we did that, and that's what helped us in January and February of 2022. And it was such a great challenge for us that we did it again in 2023, and it was a full-on exciting 2 months for us. We really went through jars. I think we went through over 120 jars, and I know that this looks like more than that. Yes, it is more than that, but this lasts us all year. But we went through at least 120 jars of meal prep based on my pantry that I had stored in August. So I encourage each and every one of you to join. I love each and every one of you that you come here and that you find value with these YouTube channels and that you like and subscribe to these channels. Not only mine, but the others as well. We appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, be blessed and laugh as much as you breathe. Have a great day, everyone.